Hey John Rowe. The topic of the podcast together and honestly I'm excited.
Oi John. Hey John Rowe. We should do a podcast.
The topic of the podcast together and honestly I'm excited.
Good day, dorks, and welcome into Lords of Dorktown, a podcast all about anime, cartoons, and video games. I'm your host, Philip, and the dork joining me tonight is one of my best friends, and he's looking really kind of nice today. He's got a bit of a shaggy beard going on. He looks hot. It's not often I get to see you in a beard, my friend, and I like it. It's J Rowe, friend of the show.
Thanks for the warm welcome. It looks a lot better on camera than it does IRL, so I appreciate the compliment. I definitely don't get them in real life.
Oh man, let's fucking cut the shit and get down to what's really fucking going on. I'm drunk and way more drunker than I thought I was going to be for this recording. To be I had a few drinks this afternoon and these Canadian Club premiums hit real hard, so I had a bit.
Are they like high strength or something?
I think they're only like 1.8 standard drinks per can, but they went down pretty quick. Excuse me.
Good.
Anyway, I had a pretty elaborate hour-long episode planned out, but I don't think we're gonna get to everything I wanted to talk about today because there's some stuff I want to go a bit more in depth into.
You don't want to just quick fire everything?
I don't want to just quick fire everything. There's some stuff I want to get to later. So before we get into the main topic, the Naruto top 5 characters, do we just want to do a little bit of what's been getting it?
Yeah, sure. Tell me what's up. What's been happening?
Rightio. So I've been kind of bouncing through a few different anime of late, and I've stumbled across an isekai. I was off isekais for ages.
You love isekai.
I fucking hate isekais. That's my least favorite.
That's your guilty pleasure.
It's my least favorite. Anyway. I watched some isekai. I watched an isekai called Overlord. Now I've seen a few episodes in the past.
Oh yeah, I've read Overlord. Well, I'm up to date.
Oh, awesome! I didn't know that. Okay, let's have a talk. I like Overlord. I think it's very, very good. I think a lot of it is bad, but most of it is very, very good.
I mean, there's some fan service in there.
So much.
Like, yeah, a lot of exaggerated body features. Yeah, I kind of I went a couple of episodes dead. Like this is one of the rare instances where I watch something before I read it. In terms of like not the most well known stuff. So yeah, I watched a couple of episodes. It was a bit rough. I kind of just didn't enjoy it. And at the time, I saw it on definitely something I paid for to read manga.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
Got into it, and the manga reads really well. It's drawn very nicely. So yeah, tell me, what do you think?
Yeah, look, when I first so I watched an episode way back when we did an episode of this series of this podcast called Why Isekai, and I watched a various amount of isekai, and this one I watched one episode and was like, yeah, whatever. The premise I thought was vaguely interesting, you know, a player character who doesn't log out after a game has been switched off, the servers have been switched off, and the NPCs come to life, and they're transported into a different world, and you know, it's an interesting premise for an isekai. It's an interesting little twist on the isekai trope, and initially it was vaguely interesting, but I didn't give it enough time on that first watch, and on this second watch, I've gone through and I've watched. I think I've watched the first 2.5 seasons. So I've watched...
That's a lot, actually.
I'm definitely past 30 episodes, so I've watched a fair bit.
Okay.
And I think it's really good. I really enjoy a lot of it. I really enjoy the characters. I enjoy the kind of way they've split the main character into his, you know, adventurer persona and his ruler persona. I find all that really engaging. I like all the servants and all that kind of thing. I really enjoy the world. Yeah, a really good cast of characters. I enjoy the world. I enjoy the combat. The magic system is very interesting. I like how all that works. I like the game mechanics that they put into it, like the typical, MMO jargon and stuff like that, and the way that they use that and integrate it into the storyline it's all very interesting. The main problem I have with it is all this very interesting stuff is wrapped in some of the worst aesthetic choices I've ever seen in anime. It's fucking awful. Like, some of the character designs in particular are really bad to look at. I hate the succubus. I think it's fucking awful.
Okay, yeah.
I really just, that character adds nothing but misery to the show for me. I fucking hate her.
Do you like it's been a while since I've read, but of the main commanders, like, do you like the main servant?
Cerberus, the
The
butler.
one with the devil, like the butler looking one.
The
butler looking
Damios with the tail and the pointy ears.
Yep.
Yeah, no, love him. He's really good. He has his kind of big moment in the end of the second series where he spoilers for Overlord. He casts a ring of hellfire around a section of the city and does like a big kidnapping there and steals a bunch of resources. And him and Momont have to have a fight. And that in the climax of the second season being that is amazing. It's so
cool. So they
great.
ended the second season on that fight.
Yeah, so their first season ends.
Brilliant.
The first season ends on the fight between him and is it Beatrice the vampire? Beatrice?
Something like that.
Yeah, the vampire, who falls under the curse of a god tier item or something like that. That's the end of the first season, which is great because we get to see Lord Einzelgorn go all out, like full magic power.
Their fight's brilliant.
It's
I did watch that.
so great. It's probably the best depiction of like that kind of magic system in anime, I reckon, because it's not a very interesting magic to look at, if it means, because it's just standing still and summoning, casting, which it's kind of boring when you think about it. But they made it look fantastic and is really, really good.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the popular animes steer away from it. Like even Black Clover, where there's a lot of casting, they don't just stand there and cast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action going on.
The only other anime it really stands out for me was Sword Art Online when they were in the Elfheim Online arc, if you remember that.
They cast their magic.
Yeah, they just had standing still caster magic and it was very boring.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, what do you reckon came first, like Sword Art or Overlord? I wonder.
It would have been Sword Art. I think Sword Art was like the big first anime isekai, where the big first like Mushoku Tensei is like touted as the godfather of all anime, like is the one that set all the tropes up and did all that because that was a very successful like internet published light novel. Like it was massive.
All right. So do you reckon? Do you feel like Sword Art opened like the floodgates for these video game isekais?
Yeah, Sword Art was the flagship of isekais, and even if I think it's fucking hilarious when you think about it because Sword Art is a perfect analogy for the isekai genre as a whole. It has some very great parts in it, and then the majority of the rest of it is fucking awful. And it feels like every other isekai does the same thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of fat on that piece of steak.
And like, it's like Dr. Stone, like one of my favorite isekais ever. There's so much of it's just like so much of it is very good, but then
Isn't it called an isekai? Dr. Stone?
There's been...
Or is it like a time lapse?
The Weebology boys had a big episode about it. You should go listen to it. But I fall under the camp that it is an isekai, being that he gets... So an isekai is a character getting transported into a new world with a different set of rules and circumstances. So technically he got transported into a new world with a different set of circumstances.
Yep, fair enough.
So
technically
it's an isekai. But like
Sorry,
even
Daddy.
even Mushoku Tensei, which is a series we reviewed like 20 episodes ago. I love it. Like, I think it's fucking amazing. It's such a great story, and even though it is all those plain, boring isekai archetypes, I'm really into it, and there's no reason why. I can't explain why. I just am. I think it's good, but
Yeah, it's good to digest.
so many other isekais are just fucking awful, and Overlord has its moments where it is genuinely bad. I think there are some points of it where I don't like watching it, but the majority of it is very, very good. It just is.
Yeah.
It's interesting, it's compelling, and it's innovative. I can't say that word. Too many.
Innovative? What was that?
It's innovative. I can't say that
No.
word.
No.
No editing. Let's move on. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I think there's some parts of Overlord that I want it to be more in depth in. Like, I think they've touched on it a little bit in the anime, and I'd be interested to see if they've touched on it in the manga. But there's a few moments where they reference certain NPCs, like certain characters in the guild, who were created by his friends. So his friends, other guild members, created these NPCs. Because of the way they were programmed by these people, they've adopted some of the personality traits of his friends.
Of his friends, yeah.
And I think that is such an interesting thing to deal with and elaborate on in the anime. This kind of relationship between Ansel Gul and these NPCs that are kind of after images almost of his friends that he misses and who
very similar.
Yeah, and how that kind of relationship plays into how he deals with some of them, and how we get a little bit of his loss of humanity when it comes to he's no longer feeling anything for the human race, and it would be interesting to feel how his loss of humanity comes into play with him losing, that connection with his friends and trying to reconnect with these NPCs who are like kind of their children almost. Like, I think that would be so much more interesting than dealing with the succubus who just wants to fucking ride his skeleton face until she just fucking
Can you imagine
dies.
how annoying it is? Then maybe that's why he wanted to stay there, just to get away from that friend in real life.
No, he did it though. He's the one that made that. And when just before the game shuts down, he edits her coding to be like,
that's his. Yeah, that's right. That's his servant that he created.
Yeah, well, yeah, he edits the code on it. So if you just take that out, I reckon you could just have so much more in-depth, critical thinking, character development, relationships between this cast of characters that is fantastic in this world that is fantastic, instead of just that. I don't know.
She must come off really abrasive in the anime. Then
she sucks.
It's kind. I mean, there's definitely panels. Well, that's the good thing about manga, I suppose, is you only have to deal with like one panel or max like one page of panels of that kind of bullshit, and you can kind of just like skim over it.
Yeah.
So she's not quite as abrasive in the manga, I suppose, and she's used as more of like a thirst trap for him. Like, he's fighting, and then he teases her at the same time. So yeah, they've got a good relationship there.
She's not the only like bad character. Like, I'm just using her as an example because she's a fucking. Because like there's a character that get introduced in the second season called, I think it's Death Eye, Murder Eye. It's a magician with a mask. A magician with a mask. But anyway, it's I think it's Death Eye. But she's part of this adventurers guild who Momon.
Oh yes, sorry, I do remember who it is. Yep.
Who Momon ends up aiding in a fight in the later half of the second season, and she just falls in love with Momon, and she has all these just cringy moments like that. It's just unnecessary. Although I kind of get, because there is some comedic value in Momon being oblivious to the fact that she's horny for him, even though that everyone else can see it, and those moments where he still has to act like he's the superior person in the room, but it's not. You know, it's evident that he's not. Like those moments are genuinely funny, and I like all that stuff.
Yeah. So they haven't wrapped up her character, kind of like an introductory character arc, I guess, yet in the anime.
No, not to what I've seen. No.
Yeah. No. She hangs around for a while. She plays a good part.
I mean, it's only up to 3 seasons. I assume that there'd be way more coming. They're pretty lean seasons too.
Yeah, there's at least another season there already written.
Yeah.
More probably on the way.
I really like it though. I think it's such an interesting concept, and it's executed in such a fun way where a lot of it is just very fun. Like the first half of the second season is the Lizard Man arc, and that's all really, really fun. Just genuinely fun. The lizard men that get introduced are interesting characters, the relationships between the tribes and how all that plays out, and just the little kind of
relevance of the entire side arc to the main story.
Yeah, and how it all kind of plays in, and also like making our protagonist the villain is an interesting concept. It's not a new concept, but it's interesting, and I like how they do it. And you know, objectively, he's a great villain. He's genuinely terrifying. He possesses a god tier amount of power in this world, and no one knows about it.
And he wants to be the Overlord.
It's very good. No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And for any like isekai heads out there, like get around it. I think if I was
definitely. I'm glad you mentioned that lizard arc, because it was like a standout part of the story because it was done so well for something that was completely sidelined of the main character's arc.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. And even though like it didn't get massive. Like it clearly had the least amount of budget in the second season, because you know the animation budget really got pushed into the second half of that season, because the second half of that season looks fantastic, and the Lizard Man arc, you know, kind of suffers in a few moments, look a bit janky. But that being said,
that's disappointing.
It's fine though. It's fine. Like even though it's noticeable, but I think the storytelling is good enough that it is it's passable. But yeah, I really enjoyed Overlord. I'm not ready to go fucking back into the isekai cesspit yet. I've dipped my toe in, and
there's
then
only a handful of good ones anyway.
Less than a handful, dude. There's a smattering. There's a speckle of good ones. The amount of dog shit isekai. Fun fact: I share a Funimation account with a friend of the show, Jason. So we constantly get updated on what the other person's watching, and some of the isekai that man partakes in are fucking one of the titles alone are just embarrassing. Like, what if I got reincarnated into like the start of town, or like it's just. You know, it's
I woke
awful.
up as a slime or something like that.
It's so bad. But you were telling me just before we started that you had started a new webtoon?
Yeah, it's called Nano Machine. So basically, it's a wuxia, like one of those kind of martial arts. Getting stronger, obviously. It's a very popular genre at the moment, where it's like one person to become the strongest. But it has a good twist where he starts his journey by being visited by a descendant thousands of years from the future. So
that's a good hook.
The potential for time travel there, and just drawn really well. Good characters. Not too much to say about it, because I know a lot of people aren't all around like wuxia and kind of like Korean it's more actually closer to like a Korean martial art webtoon, I guess. But yeah, if it could get some budgeting and an anime came out about it, it would be brilliant. It'd get a lot of traction, I reckon.
Oh man, I think we reviewed 2 out of the 3 of the webtoons that were made into anime this year. But I watched all 3, and I loved all 3. Noblesse was the worst.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It just was.
Bro, the webtoon is one of the best.
I mean,
Webtoon's better than God of High School.
God of High School was like, I mean, it's the story's paper thin. The anime skips a bunch of stuff, but it's I fucking love it. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm so upset at the moment because, well, I've got nothing to be upset about. The author is it's at the final fight, and he's even written it, but he's taken a break. He or she is taking a break, for mental health. So I hope they get better.
Yeah.
But it's been so long since we've seen any new webtoon episodes for Go to High School. I'm very excited for that to come back.
I'm really excited for the second season of that.
For Tarragod, is so ballistic right now. It's like a standout. It just gets better and better and better. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm chomping at the bit for more Tower of God content in my life, TBH. But we should probably move on to the main topic for the evening. Naruto characters. So we are going to do our top 5 list of Naruto characters. Now, this isn't going to be a big in-depth review on Naruto. I've got something planned for that coming up. This is just going to be top 5 characters. Let's keep it easy breezy. Yeah. We're also going to chuck in a pause here because I need another beverage. Pause.
Fair enough.
Don't stop recording.
Always use fresh macaroni. If the box rattles, throw it away.
Your cable TV is experiencing difficulties. Please do not panic. Resist the temptation to read or talk to loved ones. Do not attempt sexual relations, as years of TV radiation have left your genitals withered and useless.
Well, I'll be damned.
So, top 5 Naruto characters. Do you want to kick us off?
Well, see, when I was doing it, I was thinking, should we talk about Naruto and Sasuke at the end? Because obviously, what?
I've taken them out of my list. I just took them out.
Oh, you should have told me that before the episode.
Okay.
I would have taken them out, because they deserve to. Look,
1 and 2, obviously. Wait.
So should we talk about them right now?
Oh.
Or at the end. Let's
do it at the end. Okay, we'll do it at the end. Quick.
All right.
Okay. Go.
I'll start us off. Snaps this one up before. We're probably going to have a few overlapping, but let's go Gaara.
Oh, not on my list, but fuck yeah.
Yeah, not on your list. Man, honestly, great. Right. He's like a firework when he comes into the story.
Amazing. He has, I think, one of the best introductions in anime history. Not only does he get introduced in arguably the best arc within all of Naruto, the original series, but...
Yeah, I'll agree with you on air. I'll record that saying I definitely agree that arc is the best.
Yeah, but also he is a terrifying villain from the moment he comes in, and his redemption throughout the series from villain to friend to best friend, guardian, confidant.
Absolutely someone the entire, all the communities can depend on.
Yeah, a pillar of the modern shinobi world, if you will.
Yeah.
Amazing choice. Yeah, of course. Very close to being on my list.
Yeah. Favorite moment would have to be his first perfect possession, and the subsequent defeat, and then his character pivoting towards becoming one of the kindest people in the story.
Yeah, just a big old softie. Loved it.
Yeah, that pivot point for him is probably my favorite moment. Also, how sad versing his father.
Yeah, that was rough. Awesome. Yeah, a fantastic pick. Do you want me to do one of mine?
Yeah, crack on.
Rightio. Speaking of tune-in exam arcs, and characters introduced, first off my list is Orochi Maru.
Oh,
Snake Daddy himself.
Yeah.
I fucking love Orochi Maru, and we've said it 5 times already, but the tune-in exams in the original Naruto, it's the most amazing arc of any series, TBH. But Orochi Maru was fantastic in that. He was menacing, he was terrifying, he was kind of freakishly hot. His long hair, I loved all of it.
You didn't mind the tongue?
I didn't mind the tongue. His technique when he brings the sword out, all of it, I loved it. And
that's disgusting.
him swallowing the heaven scroll, like that image is like is burned into my skull because it's so terrifying in the moment. Like it's such a menacing thing, and he's the first truly kind of otherworldly villain we've come across in Naruto too. Because like when you think about it, during the Mist Village, is it the Mist Village arc, the first arc where he fights Zabuza and
Haku.
Yeah. But like they're ninjas. They're very much human ninjas. You know, all his villains have been
morphed into anything yet.
All his villains have been very human. It's still very much grounded in like a ninja reality where it's just, you know, very skilled human ninjas. But Orochimaru is this otherworldly kind of demon force. He's very menacing. He's very terrifying. And as soon as we finish Chunin exams, we see him attack the Leaf Village, and he gets to fight Lord Hokage the Third. Yeah, the third.
Yep.
Which,
no, the fifth. No.
The third. Minato's the fourth. Yeah, he's the third. Because Minato dies and he goes back.
Sarutobi.
Yeah. Anyway.
Man, there's so much Naruto, honestly.
So much. We're just talking about the characters. So, but yeah, that whole arc in Naruto as well is fantastic. And then in Shippuden, the role he plays, being Sasuke's sensei, is fantastic. He's such an integral part of the whole series, and he's another one.
He kind of abused him, and he was using him for his body.
Oh yeah, it's an awful relationship. But like the way he's stitched through the series and the role he plays, I think is such a fascinating character. And I very much love his design, his power, and between him and Kabuto, it was very hard which one to pick because I love them both dearly. But Orochimaru,
you picked a good one.
Orochimaru wins out on style points for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like his resurrection?
Love it. I love everything about that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Fantastic.
Big fanboy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll move on. I'm not. I don't think I'm doing these in any particular order, really. These are just my standouts. So I'll get straight to Daddy Kakashi. He has to be on your list.
Yeah, he's on my list. Of course, he's on my list.
Of course. Well, let's talk about.
Oh boy, like the original kind of badass, like the OG kind of silent badass.
Yeah, like oozing confidence.
So confident, and like he backs it up every time. Kakashi, throughout the series, never feels like Kakashi's in any danger except for maybe the Obito fight. But like he feels so confident that you think he's gonna win. It's
not
Kakashi
even against
Sensei.
Madara.
Yeah, exactly. But like, oh man, so much I want to talk about. But what moment stands out for you as a good one for Kakashi?
Unlike a few of the other characters where it's definitely like the earlier arcs, it's definitely the whole reveal of how he has the Sharingan. Exactly how it happened. It was kind of like a crux of so much that had already been, like, so many seeds had been planted throughout the story, and they all perfectly arrived at the reveal of how he gets his Sharingan, because he wasn't born with it. We didn't really understand. There was not too much given away, and then that kind of flashback and the whole thing with the Obito, sorry. Really one of the best the best character development moments of the entire series.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. As draining as the Kakashi and Obito flashbacks get in Shippuden, like there's so many. As draining as that gets, it's fine. But I find Kakashi in OG Naruto, I think he's a really big standout character for just being like the only decent man figure, like the only decent role model when it comes to ninjas. He stands out as like a good father figure in that original series. Like even like
that likes nudie mags.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who doesn't?
He's the teacher everyone wished they got. You know what I mean? He's the ultimate sensei.
Yeah, and when the bit when they're tied, Naruto's tied to the tree and everything, like
1,000 Years of Pain.
Oh, that was brutal.
Fingers up the
Well,
bum.
he's done so much. Like when he gets the perfect Susanoo.
But amazing. Also, like his summons, his dog squad summons,
Yeah.
crazy good. He teaches Sasuke Chidori,
Yeah.
amazing. And that scene again, I'm referencing the Chunin exams, but I fucking love the Chunin exams. Him sealing Sasuke's curse mark while the battles for the Chunin exams are happening is really, really good. It's really fun. It's a good kind of moment of world building, and it's really fun kind of lore and mythos where he's got all the sigils drawn on the walls and stuff around him. He's using all this chakra and he's infusing this kind of sigils into his skin and stuff like that. And Orochi Maru is there as well. It's all very tense. It's all very exciting. Kakashi was a standout from day dot for me. I genuinely love that character.
Yeah, from start to finish, just one of the most solid characters throughout the entire story. Linked to so much as well, like so many different groups of characters he's linked to or influences in some way. And then he becomes a Hokage as well, like well deserved.
Well deserved.
The greatest deserved. Other than Naruto, he really deserves it. But yeah,
we'll talk about him.
Kakashi deserves that title as much as anyone. So yeah, he's from start to finish. How amazing is his story?
It's one of the best. Moving on, next off my list, I'll just cross Kakashi out. We're going Rock Lee.
Oh yes.
Fuck yes. The Taijutsu master himself, Rock Lee. Again, you're slowly learning the crux of all my favorite things about Naruto. They're all tied into the Chunin exams. Rock Lee's fight in the Chunin exams versus your boy Gaara is one of the best anime fights that came out in that decade. It is fantastic. The weights getting dropped while he's standing on the statue.
When they press the ground down,
it's
a
just
little bit,
everyone in the stadium just being like, "What? He's just dropping ankle weights," and then they hit the ground and they fucking explode.
Yeah.
Him just going all out against this absolute monster Gaara, and his introduction is so great in that fight, but we've also spent 10 or 20 episodes pre that with him just being this kind of bumbling nerd that's kind of counter to Naruto, that they're both kind of in the same league when it just comes to bumbling.
Both seem useless.
Yeah, bumbling idiots, but when we find out Rock Lee can back it up with just skills, just skills on skills on skills, it's amazing. And then not only that, but Rock Lee gets Drunken Fist later in Naruto, which is great, another amazing fight scene. And also his arc in the kind of Shippuden, where he's leveling up against with Guy Sensei and stuff like that, fighting Kisame, who we mentioned in the Best Weapons episode. All that stuff is fantastic, and I hate to say it, but I kind of like him in Boruto too. I don't fucking like Boruto, but I kind of like him in Boruto.
I'm gonna have to get into Boruto because I've abstained from it. The manga. I'm not gonna watch the anime, but I've abstained from it because Naruto is just so fucking good. Well, the thing I love the most about Rock Lee is he's he is the artist's or the author's representation of hard work.
Yeah, exactly.
We know Naruto works hard. We know Sasuke works hard, but Rock Lee and his father, to be honest, are both the hardest working characters in the entire story.
100%. I thoroughly enjoyed Rock Lee throughout the entire series, and also I think it's interesting that I like the fact that they stuck hard and fast to the only taijutsu rule. Because like even Guy Sensei, Mike Guy, he is a taijutsu ninja. Like he focuses on taijutsu, but they still gave him a bit of ninjutsu as well. But with Rock Lee, they just stuck hard and fast. Absolutely no ninjutsu, no genjutsu. The whole series, just straight Tai.
Yeah,
which
he's
is
got no
fantastic.
chakra, right? How do they divide it again? Can't remember exactly. But he doesn't. He can't even perform them if he wanted to.
I think he just has just no natural talent towards it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Do you want to hit another one off your list?
And it's just animated so well.
Oh, all his fights are great.
Oh, man, I really need to read all of it again. I've been reading and reading. I haven't even dented it. I'll go next. So, I'll throw... I'll just throw this in. I'll go say Black Zetsu.
Wow, okay. That's out of left field. Shoot.
Because... Well, when I was thinking about the list, I was like, going through the characters, I'm like, of course they could be in the list. Pretty much everyone could be in the list. I got to say Black Zetsu because he was the first time that there was a character where, like, it was, like, no one would have guessed that he was the ultimate mastermind behind...
Yeah.
It was, at the time, it was the biggest flip, I thought personally, on any movie, any anime...
It did seem
manga.
like it seemed like a reveal that came out of nowhere.
Nowhere, but it didn't seem cheap either.
No, it felt deserved because we've been asking questions about Black Zetsu this whole time, and we just thought it was one of those things we won't get answers on because, TBH, a lot of Naruto lore and universe isn't completely thought out, and a lot of fucking holes exist in that plot line. So I initially thought Black Zetsu was another hole, and it turns out he's not the hole, he's the plot.
Well, he's the fucking dirt to go in all the holes as well. Like, you're really going through, like, the whole Infinite Tsuyomi and, like, the Madara and finishing that fight and then just being like, oh, hey, it's me, Black Zetsu. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, basically. That's a great pick. I hadn't even considered him. That's really good.
Yeah, and I feel like there's like he's not a super influential character throughout, but he's just always there. So there's not a hella in like build up notable moments. It's really that point where you're like, oh, he's the guy. Like it's him, and then you're like, oh, of course. Like he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's Black Zetsu. He doesn't have like a body.
Yeah, 100%. That's... I'm really just wanting to rewatch Shippuden right now. It's like, that's fucking... That's killing me. I never thought I'd want to watch Shippuden again. I really didn't.
Never thought you'd want to watch it just for Zetsu as well.
Yeah, man, Black Zetsu is just such a great character. I really, really enjoyed...
and his lead into, like, Kaguya. Like... That's attached to him as a character, is his lead into Kaguya. Like, after the reveal and then being like, oh, yeah, and we're going to use me and fucking Madara to revive Kaguya.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, man, that's a great one. I'll hit another one on my list. I'm going with your boy, Shikamaru. Shikamaru. I loved Shikamaru. What a fantastic character. I really enjoyed his whole squad, though. Choji is also pretty high on my list, too. I really enjoy his whole squad. And if you've ever played the Naruto Ninja Storm games, Shikamaru's character in player versus player combat is broken. It is the most broken fighting game mechanics I've ever seen. He can do his like stretch shadow attack from like anywhere on the map, and it wrecks. It's so spammable that he became the first banned character in our house growing up with Naruto.
Oh, really? You didn't ban like Data or anyone like? Nah.
Shikamaru was the first banned character. Gaara was the second, and Itachi was the third.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Man. We could definitely buy those games.
I have them.
They're probably on sale
I have
right
them.
now.
I have
we
them.
Can play online.
I have them. Let's do that.
On the PS5s. Let's do it.
Let's do that.
I'm going to play Data and just spam clay pigeons.
I love those Ninja Storm games. They should be a whole episode in themselves, so we'll fucking leave that for later. But getting back to Shikamaru, I loved him, and he has a really great part in one of the movies. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the Flying Fortress one. No, the Hidden
Wasn't
Gem.
Seven Deadly Sins the Flying Fortress?
Yeah, it might have been. I think it's the stone something. Anyway.
I've never watched any of the movies, except for, like, the one in between Naruto and
Yeah,
Boruto.
I've watched them all. They're all okay. But this one, Shikamaru gets a really good part to play. But I think Shikamaru is just a really fun character, a really engaging character throughout it all. It's always fun to watch a character who, like, Light from Death Note, Levi from Attack on Titan, like someone who's always thinking 10 steps ahead and is always more prepared than everyone else in the room. That is a fun and engaging character for me. So Shikamaru was a easy choice for my list.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Good pick too. I like his effort in the Great War as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Until everyone gets swallowed up, of course.
Shit happens.
Being able to pin Martyr for even a second is something notable.
Oh yeah, 100%. Do you want to hit another one on your list? I've only got two.
I've only got two to go, and then Naruto and Sasuke.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. I've got two to go too. You'll go.
All right, let's cut in here. I wanted to do this one separate, like kind of pivot and favorite Hokage.
Ooh, Tsunade? Yeah, I think it's Tsunade.
Is that because of your body pillow, or
no?
For any other?
I really enjoy Tsunade's role in the Battle of the Five Kage. I enjoy Tsunade's entrance. I enjoy her relationship with Orochi Maru and Jiraiya. And yeah, fucking sue me. I love tits.
Big.
I love big titties. I'm a big titty fella. I got a nice pair of C's myself, and I'm a big fan of them.
Do you like it? Yeah, I like kind of how she becomes Sakura's fucking mentor as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And gives her the power of the mark.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Jiraiya as well?
I mean,
we've done Orochi Maru and Tsunade.
Yeah, I mean, he's on my list, so I was getting there.
Oh, okay. Well, you go then, because I've got Naruto and Sasuke left.
Oh, so they're your last two. Okay, yeah, I'll quickly rip through my last two then, because they're not. I left Naruto and Sasuke off there. For my last two, I had Jiraiya Sensei. Fantastic! What a amazing character. A really good father figure. I really enjoy all the Toad Sage stuff. I enjoy his kind of. He is like a Kakashi on steroids when you think of like the perviness, the outwardness of confidence and reassuredness. I really enjoy. He is a big factor in why the pain arc hits so hard. I mean, the death of Jiraiya is
it's so sad.
It's so genuinely sad, and also the flashbacks between Nagato and Pain and all that stuff, and Kona and all that. It's just really, it's a very good emotional thread that runs through that pain arc. And Jiraiya is at the heart of all that, and he's such a fascinating character. And design-wise, his design stands out so much in the Naruto, mythos, the Naruto characters. And it's for good reason. It's such a bright, lurid design. The bright red, the crazy hair, the old school kind of big sandals, the whole kit and caboodle is so fantastic. And when it's all combined into one, the character, the confidence, the powers, the design, you get something truly brilliant, and that's Jiraiya Sensei.
Yeah, I feel like his character design as well almost gives off like samurai vibes, even though he's like the drunk Kakashi. For
sure. And last on my list, look, it's controversial. I would say that it's controversial.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking loser.
I'll end the call right now.
Look, Konkuro. I genuinely love Konkuro. I think he is a fascinating character, and I think he's one that should have had way more to do in the Naruto universe. Him being sidelined is kind of a Gaara offset in that, Gaara, Tamare, Konkoro kind of deal. I thought I just wanted more of him. I thought the puppet Jiu-Jitsu stuff was amazing. His role he plays in the Shippuden when Gaara gets captured with is it Datara, the clay guy?
Yeah, that's Datara.
And the puppet master, I can't remember that person. But yeah, Konkoro and that is fantastic. And I think he's one of those well-designed characters whose combat and everything is interesting enough that it keeps me very engaged. And I think as a teenager when I first watched the Chunin Exams arc, when I saw his design with the full black outfit, the pale face, the purple eyeshadow, and the pointed hood, I was like, oh, fuck, that is... And the big bandaged mummy on the back, I was like, that is... fuck, that is who...
The whole time you're like, what's in the bloody bandages?
And, like, the reveal of it is so good, this kind of twisted, contorting, shaking puppet. Like, his puppet, when it first gets introduced, is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's really scary. And,
he's a super dark character. He seems very super dark, and he looks it.
He's just such a cool goth kid. He really is. And that's the only reason he's on my list. Cool goth kid. Okay, let's talk about Naruto and Sasuke, because I'm getting really drunk and I need to wait. So let's get into this.
Well, we can talk about them together because so much memorable stuff happens pretty much between the two of them.
Which camp do you fall in? Are you Team Naruto, Team Sasuke?
I'll always be Team Naruto, I think.
Believe it.
Because when it's written on paper, like, the way the characters are represented on screen doesn't come through, so you're not jaded by any of that. You just have panels and then the written story to go off. I definitely don't like him as much in the original series and then Shippuden, just because the way he's represented sometimes. Other times I do actually like him even more in certain parts of the story. But yeah, like, where do we begin with the two? Should we just start from, like, the first...
I would say...
the Chunin exam? Or?
I would say overall, you said something interesting there, that throughout the series, Naruto is really annoying and really kind of off-putting, but there are moments when he's not. And I would say, throughout the series, Naruto has a lot of moments where he is off-putting, yes, but the moments where he is not, and he is being a genuine kind of heartfelt character who we've seen grow up, who we've seen, become this leader, this shinobi, this warrior, this symbol for kind of peace and justice in the Leaf Village. Those moments that do come throughout all the shit are more impactful, meaningful, and more memorable than any moment Sasuke gets throughout the series.
Yeah, because the whole way through the series, Sasuke is just, like, annoying. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
And, like, when his character is so frustrating because he's always one decision away from fixing everything. Sasuke is always one decision away from fixing everything. It's just one simple, like, don't go with Orochi Maru. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Stay here. Don't betray Naruto. Just go with him,
Yeah.
Listen to Itachi. Don't chase. He's always just seems to make, whenever two choices are presented to Sasuke, it feels like he makes the wrong choice.
Wrong one, yeah. I'd agree, the wrong one every single time.
But he's so fucking attractive and such a cool goth boy that you have to forgive it all. You can't tell me that when you saw the first images of Shippuden Sasuke with the Orochimaru robe, the purple fucking big ribbon on his back, the sword, the whole kit and caboodle, that you weren't like, damn, daddy, give it to me.
Well, I don't know if I had that last line, but my outstanding moments that I've written down, like, the first Chidori was there, but then the outfit reveal of that, like, team fight.
So
it was
good.
One of the best even though it was a return to the series, but just one of the best character designs in the entire show.
He has the best outfits throughout the series. His original outfit, the blue and black outfit with the pop collar and stuff like that. It's classic. It's classic. The sandals and everything, classic. Love it. Mwah, perfect. And then he's like upgraded fucking punk look where it's all black. He's got his bigger hair. He's got his fucking chains and shit on there. It's like, yeah, okay, you're going through a phase. I get it. You're a bit darker now. And then when he comes back in Shippuden and he looks like he does in that fucking robe, I'm telling you, it is the best. And then they give him an Akatsuki uniform. Suck me off and call me Pooh Bear. Yes, Daddy.
Oh, I know what kind of... I'm going to get some custom print bath, some silks. I'm going to get some silks.
Oh, man. Best outfits through the whole series. And, like, Naruto just gets stuck with his fucking garbage orange and blue color scheme. Awful.
Yeah, what's with the jumpsuit?
Awful. I hate it. The only good Naruto outfit he has through the whole series is his Frog Sage. Toad Sage. Perfect.
Yeah, Toad Sage.
Love it.
Oh, I also like Sage of the Six Paths. Chakra.
Oh, yeah.
Chakra.
Yeah.
The thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool too.
But that's way later in the story. It's not even worth talking about. Because
Yeah.
everything between the two of them happens.
Yeah, for sure. What did you think about the first season, like Naruto ending between that big climactic fight between Naruto and Sasuke? It's such a pinnacle of that
waterfall?
series. Yeah, like not only an amazing fight, but Naruto loses.
I know. After so I actually rewatched this again today.
Oh, so good.
The fight and just the levels the layers to the fight as well. So Naruto gets his ass kicked. Distracted though by the fact that he has to try and get Sasuke to come back.
Yeah.
Sasuke's like, just get the fuck away from me. I'm going to kill you if you don't leave, basically. And then Naruto just starts using the QB chakra, and then it's
Kurama,
like the first level of it. He's just got a bit around him, and then Sasuke, his Sharingan's like go to the next level as well. So they're powering up as well in this fight. So it's a good like power level booster, along with being just the most intense clash between the two of them. It's the crux of all of their interactions.
Yeah, it's like
through the entire story up until that point. What's it, like
200 and something episodes, 290 episodes leading up to that fight? And like
half of them definitely not worth watching again, but the other half must see.
We get to see not only the emotional payoff of this fight, but also the payoff when it comes to abilities, because we see both of the characters utilize everything they've learned. Sasuke is using his fire techniques. We see him using his demon wind shuriken techniques. We see him using his Chidori. We see him utilizing his
kunai that he's pinnacle skills with the kunai, where he can make them change directions by hitting them with
100%.
Oh.
We see him use wires. We see him use all the techniques he has learned and acquired, and then we get to see Naruto doing the same thing. We see him utilizing shadow clones in amazing ways. The scene where he has a string of shadow clones connected to each other and it whips Sasuke into the water is such a beautifully animated scene that I think I will remember that well after my fucking dementia-riddled brain has erased all my family. Like, I'll still remember that.
You'll be sitting at the Christmas table and you're like, you wouldn't believe it. And then Naruto, he makes shadow clone chain. Yeah. Whips Sasuke into the mountain and then he blows fire back at him.
It's fantastic.
He's like, Grandpa, shut the fuck up.
You wouldn't believe it, Sonny. I was there for episode 1000 of One Piece. We'll get into that later, at a later date.
So much.
But yeah, what an amazing. Who do you think has the best kind of show-offy powers when it comes to the end of it? Are you a Susanoo guy? Are you a?
Well, that's definitely the most showy. If you're talking about that definitely the most showy. And the Susanoo gets like cooler and cooler every time he uses it.
I really enjoyed the tail beast forms, the incomplete tail beast forms Naruto gets. I really do. As mentioned, I
You
love
like the one
Toad
with the bones
Stage.
over it. That's probably
Oh yeah,
every time I think about it, that's the one I see.
the
one with
bones.
over
Is that
it.
like 5 tails when he's first in pain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the fight.
It's
he gets the skull over his head. Ugh.
amazing. But even like his like demon, like his incomplete like 2 tails form is really menacing. There's that fight in Shippuden, where it's on the bridge and Naruto goes 2 tails, maybe against Orochi Maru, maybe something like that. But yeah,
Missing on my memory at the moment.
yeah, but like
I
that,
know
yeah,
the form, yeah.
that's fantastic.
I love how feral it is as well.
Mm.
Like he goes absolutely ballistic and wild. So then, while you've also got that form, I suppose the waterfall fight really gets you start thinking. Oh, like they've both got these pools of power they can tap into and dig in, but at what cost? Because and Sasuke even says that in the fight. He's like, "Oh, I know you're taking a risk using this power," which we know he is. But also, like Sasuke's fully activated his curse.
Do we ever see Sasuke form the hand wings again?
Yeah, his form gets like even crazier at the end of the fight to break him out of it.
No, but
goes
like
really weird.
in Shippuden, do we ever see him form that form, curse mark form again, where he gets like the big
Not
hands
after
on
he
his
loses
back?
the curse mark.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Not after he loses it.
Interesting. Oh man. I do have one question for you when it comes to Naruto Sasuke. Now, are you a true believer in the idea that Sakura should have ended up with Naruto rather than Sasuke? Are you one of those guys? Are you one?
No, I'm not. Are you?
No, of course not. I don't even.
Yeah,
I don't
it
even
happened
think.
perfectly.
I don't even think Sasuke should have ended up with Sakura. I think Sakura is genuinely in an abusive relationship, but doesn't even acknowledge it.
Well, that's the thing. She created it though, not him.
Yeah, that's true. She's kind of the architect of her
Not
own
saying
destruction.
she's the victim. I mean, like if you just like objectively looking at, I don't want to get me too here. If you're objectively looking at the story, like he's constantly saying no. She just pushes. Like she's harassing him, if anything, at the start.
It's so cute that you think that women are still listening to this episode at this point.
So
adorable.
Oh, that is so true. We're deep. Hello to all my weebs.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Shout out to the real ones. But I
keeping it real for the homies.
Yeah, I think it's also hilarious. It probably didn't mean to be that. Even once they've had a kid, like Sasuke's not around at all.
He's such a fucking.
So like
cunt,
it's like she's like the joke character the whole way through. Like she gets shat on all the time.
I mean, if we're talking,
especially in the fandom.
If we're talking joke characters, do you have a worse character? Like a character who you just genuinely don't like? Because I fucking do, and that's for sure. And it's that fucking midriff wearing motherfucker Sai. I think he is the most boring piece of fucking white toast I've ever seen. What a fucking pasty, bland, boring character. Oh, I draw pictures and they come to life. Oh, I was in the Abu Black Ops and it made me all sad and lonely and I don't know who I am. Oh, I fell in love with Ino, who's basically just fucking white wine version of Sakura. Suck me off, you wannabe.
You're hung up on him, bro.
I fucking hate
it.
Doesn't
he have the greatest sealing techniques?
Oh, who cares? Come back to me when you've got the greatest fucking taijutsu techniques, like my boy Orochi Lee. He'll fucking rock your face.
And Might Guy. My least favourite character. Holy shit. I haven't thought about that actually at all. I hate who's Orochi Maru's guy? Kabuto. I hate him.
I love him.
He's my most hated character. I think in the show.
Good. So good.
But he's not the worst character by any means because he's done so well. You hate him that much.
Yeah.
Just the normal ninjas at the end of the story when they're all just fucking cannon fodder. I hate that. They're annoying.
What about
Why are they even
Killer?
there? Like,
what about
what's
Killer
with the Great
Bee?
War?
What about Killer Bee?
No, I love Killer Bee because I did the manga and I didn't have to listen to him.
Ah, okay. Because I had to listen to
Yes.
that. I had to listen to that guy rap, and it was.
Yep.
Oh boy!
It's annoying. It's straight up annoying.
I was googling fucking backyard lobotomies by the end of like the first scene he was in. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, it's grinding. He's like talk about like some people being abrasive. He's super abrasive in the show because what I have watched is just straight up annoying.
It's rough. It's genuinely rough. Hey, dude.
And in dub, in sub, it's just as bad as well. Like dub and sub suck.
I realized I had one person on honorable mentions that we haven't talked about. I want to talk about him for exactly 1 minute before we've got to end this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Yamato, aka father figure number 4 for Naruto. I love Yamato. I think Wood Style is fun to watch. I think his blank kind of expression is genuinely funny. I think he's very engaging. And the fact that he's an Orochi Maru dude even makes me love him even more. And he had this bullshit move in Ninja Storm 3 where you could send like 40 logs into someone's face from anywhere on the map, and it was fucking broken.
Man, when he first came into the story, and from then on and still now, every time I look at him, I think he just reminds me of the original Gambit in the X-Men comics. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've got to Google it. He's a clear character rip-off of Gambit from X-Men comics.
The ninja band and everything, yeah, it's on his like sides of his face and stuff.
Yeah, it's so close. It's not funny. Yeah, Yamato's a good character and good story driver as well with what happens to him at the end.
Yeah, for sure. Let's pull up stumps there. I'm done. I'm toasted. I'm well and truly sourced, and I'm ready to wrap up. It's been fantastic having you here, J-Ro. Make sure you dorks, go out and check out the Instagram at Lords of Dorktown. Go check out What's Your Obsession Pod, a fun little another pod I'm doing with Callum, friend of the show.
Yeah, you guys
it's
having a good
fantastic. Oh, it's man, so much fun. Having a ball. I can't wait to do more and share them around. So get amongst that. If you want to email the pod, get in touch with us at lordsofdorktown@gmail.com. You want to sign us off there, J-Ro?
Thanks for having me, Phil. Love you, brother. And as always, everybody listening out there, keep good.
You. Love it.